right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Two Fat Guys Talking Flowers, where we're always going to give you the good, the bad, the ugly about flowers. I'm Fern here with Joelle, Ryan, we got Mike, we got Mimi in the house, and our amazing, one-of-a-kind, very unique guest is none other than Elizabeth Jaime with Calma. Jaime. Jamie, Jaime. Depends on who you're talking to, right?
Potato, yeah. Or no, tomato.
Yeah. No, I think potato was right too.
Either one.
I like it. I like that. Potato,
I'm fine with either.
You're fine with either.
Yeah.
With Calma. Hello. Welcome. How you doing?
Hello. Thank you for having me.
This might be my last episode. Apparently, Joelle has taken over.
Oh.
Yeah, he's taken over, and his intro, I need to hear it, fans. Whose intro was better? Was my intro better? Or do you prefer Joelle's intro that he did last week when I wasn't here dying on my deathbed? He replaced me like nothing.
I'm going to tell you something that a wise man told me. Nothing's better than the original. The photocopy can never capture the original.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is why I love that woman right there. Hello.
The great Mimi Pacheco.
Thank you.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
originally, you weren't in flowers.
I was not, no. I
my.
had a career change when I was 29. So I'm from Miami, grew up here. I went to New York to go to college. And
Where'd you go to college at?
Hunter College in the Upper East Side.
Oh, so this was the whole New York
68th
experience.
Street in Lexington
Yep,
Avenue.
of course. Yep, that is very
It's neck of
true.
the woods right there. Hello.
Yeah, after I graduated college, I moved to college. I wanted to work in magazines. It was like the time of the hills and Laguna Beach. So
when MTV stopped playing music and it was all reality shows and glitz and glamour.
Why did they do that?
I don't know.
No.
That's where the viewers were at.
Yeah.
People stopped watching TRL.
Listen, there's a lot of good that came out of it. There's a lot of good that came out
Is
of
there?
it.
Like Jersey Shore?
Hello.
The Jersey Shore is good.
Ellie got into the business.
yeah, that's how my journey started. MTV. I moved to New York, and then I started working in the magazine industry. I worked at Teen Vogue for a little bit. I interned
Awesome.
there, and then eventually I got a full-time job in the photo department of Bon Appetit magazine, which is like the food magazine.
Did you meet somebody like The Devil Wears Prada, like an
Anna
editor?
Winter. Yeah, she was. She's a part of every magazine at the So she works at Condé Nast, which owns Bon Appetit, where I worked. So she's the artistic director of every magazine. So
Oh, Bon Appetit. That's in the airplane pockets,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right?
is it? I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know that. Maybe.
I don't know. I get a lot of restaurants from those guys.
They had
Let me tell
They
you.
had a huge scandal back a couple years
yeah.
ago, right?
Yeah.
But
Were you there? Were you part of the scandal?
I know. I had just left. But I freelance from them. I freelance for them from time to time. So I dip my toes back in. But no, I was not there when the scandal happened.
Yeah, but Bon Appetit has some good recommendations. Like if you're gonna go somewhere and you can like look like Google, I trust them if I'm gonna look, into what's going on and where to find food. I love all food, so
Yeah.
So you were in the photo department, you said?
Yeah. So my job was to produce, conceptualize, and then on-set art direct all the photo shoots for the magazine. We were a team of like 3 to 4, depending on what year we're talking about. And every month we would produce the entire magazine. Every image in the magazine was shot by a photographer, either on our team or someone that we hired. So yeah, it was really, really fun. I loved my job there. The only reason I left is because I felt like I had just reached the top of the department and I wanted to do something different, and I wanted to maybe move back home to Miami.
Gotcha. Did you learn was there those food hack tricks for photography where you don't use like real ice cream, use like mashed potatoes and stuff like that?
So our ethos was always to try and shoot it as real as possible, because we didn't want the home cook to cook it and then for it to look different than what the photograph looked like. But there was some exceptions, like ice cream is really hard to deal with because you're constantly, you have to shoot it like 10 times and keep replacing it. So sometimes we would use tricks there. There was like some like cheese pool tricks, like when you do a grilled cheese.
Sure.
But for the most part, everything, at least in Bon Appetit, it was real.
Cool.
Yeah. It was a really fun.
There's a lot of those tricks out. I've seen a ton of those.
I've only seen
where
a
they
few
get
videos, but
marker
yeah,
and they put the lines on the
Yeah.
burgers darker.
Yeah.
And they use glue.
Oh, a good one is so for Thanksgiving, which is a huge deal for a food magazine. It's like our Super Bowl,
yeah.
To
Mine too.
make the turkeys look really like beautiful and crisp, not crisp, but like that perfect turkey.
Juicy
Brown.
yet crispy.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what they would use? They would coat the whole thing in soy sauce.
soy sauce.
Ooh,
Okay, I was gonna say like shoe polish or something.
Yeah, no, soy sauce.
sauce, that's cool.
It would make it like the perfect brown.
Oh, nice.
Did it taste good?
Yes.
Yeah.
You ever cook one afterwards?
Yes.
Oh my God, yeah. I learned so much from my time there because as the photo editor, I needed to read through every recipe that we published because I needed to know, if we were doing a step-by-step, how do you cook this recipe? Like, what's the end goal? So I was also in charge of a section of the magazine called Prep School, which is where we teach something like really complicated to the reader. So I had to produce those shoots, so I was seeing how you did everything. So I learned how to be a pretty good cook, I think, at my time there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you guys have like a full kitchen?
Yeah,
Obviously,
we
you
had it.
needed
It was
one
called
for
the
pictures.
You got to eat all that food, right?
Oh my God, yeah. I ate so much. I would eat every
Sounds
recipe.
like a great job.
I loved my job. We had it was called the test kitchen. So it was a huge kitchen with like 7, we called them bays, and each bay was like its own sink, oven, stovetop. And then we were in the World Trade Center, the new World Trade Center. But so it was like this really beautiful kitchen with like a view of the Hudson. It was really nice.
Man, you had the whole New York experience. Like
Oh, yeah.
what
I
you
was there
see on
for-
Hallmark TV. You were living
Yeah.
You watch Hallmark TV?
it. So we have AT&T. So we have
Busted.
AT&T.
The hell is Hallmark TV?
Oh.
It's
Is that a
chick
channel?
channel. It's
a
Is
chick
there a
channel.
Hallmark channel?
Yeah,
Hallmark
it's
movies? You know about Hallmark movies?
You don't know about those Hallmark
It's really
movies?
cheesy. Like
even I know that.
Mommy-
the broken-hearted
Yeah.
woman
got divorced
It's
and
the
moves
same
away.
story.
That's
And
me.
she
I
meets-
even got married and divorced in New York. So
Oh shit! You really did get the whole experience.
Yep, exactly. It really was.
That's so funny.
So was it after your divorce that you were like, maybe there's time to come back home because New York is
It
not
was
like Miami?
No, like I
Miami's
had
the
already
best.
been divorced for like 4 years before I decided to move back. So no, it really had nothing to do with it.
But you went from like one art, which is culinary art, into flowers. How'd you get into?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that change?
Okay, so I moved back here. I didn't know what I was going to do for work because we don't really have magazines here, and that's all I really knew. So I was living at my grandparents' house because I just came back and I was like, I'm going to live with them while I find a place. And I was so incredibly bored. Like I was a person, I have to be working. I have to always be doing something. So I was so bored, and I lived close to like Hernies. You know Hernies? And I see them.
Hernies Wayside Flowers.
I see them park here. My grandparents live close to Hernies, so I would go there. I would buy flowers. And I would make arrangements like for fun. I would give them to my friends or give them to my grandparents and post them on Instagram. And
Had you had any training, or this was
No.
just on a whim, just for
on
fun?
a whim. I had
Cool.
no idea what I was doing. I was doing it for fun, and then eventually.
What year was this?
This was December 2018 into January 2019.
So pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID, yeah. It kind of took off a little bit, like pretty soon after I started doing it. Like people were buying things, and at the same time, because I was so bored, I was like, I need a job. I'm gonna go work retail. I'm probably like, that's probably above my pay grade, but I'm just gonna go do it. I need do something to do. So I applied to work at Glossier, the pop-up that they were having in the design or in
Mhm.
Wynwood. And
What is that? Glossier.
It's like
It's
a
a
makeup
makeup.
company,
Okay.
yeah. And they always
But he has to understand. Imagine it's not even that it's trendy. It's just that it's high end, but it's marketed to a certain demographic. So like,
What would that demographic
that would be like women who could afford it, first of all.
Yeah.
But second of all, it's very, very clean. It's like minimalist.
bougie, I
Yeah,
think
no,
that's
no,
what
it's
he's
not
saying.
bougie.
It's
not
super
bougie.
bougie.
No, it's
and
not. No.
It's like limited. Like they
It's
have their
limited, though.
pop-up and then they sell everything they want to sell. Then they close their pop-up and they go somewhere else.
hmm
at the time, yeah.
But now there's a full store.
Yeah.
store.
Anyways, I made it pretty far in the interview process. And at the end, I was like, because if you've been to a Glossier store, you know that they always have a lot of flowers. They really care about the flowers in the store. So I was like, if you need a florist, I'm a florist. I would love to do your flowers. And they were like, oh, sure, yeah. And I'm like, wait, what? Now I have to figure out how to be a florist. So that was my first real job. And from there, I mean, I didn't make any money off that job. I totally
Of course, yeah.
It was just for looks
Sure.
at that point. But that led to more jobs, and then eventually, I became a full-time florist. Yeah.
That's it. Just like that, right?
Just like that. So you just said, I'm going to jump in. Did you take
Self-taught?
any classes?
Yeah, did you-
So then I really had to figure out how to be a florist. I would say a lot of it has been trial and error.
Sure.
As with anything new. I looked to YouTube videos. I checked out some books from the library. I was looking at what other people were doing in terms of like mechanics and how to build the types of arrangements that I wanted to be building.
Were there any florists specifically that you were looking towards, like Holly Chapel, that kind of style, or like?
I mean, I really loved like the florists that were working out of New York and LA, like Birch, Issa in LA. But yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. So I had to find, and what was hardest for me was honestly the mechanics. Because it felt like you can't see the mechanics when an arrangement. So I'm like, what's under there? I wanted to like go into stores and like take apart what was happening. So yeah, that was the harder part for me. And then obviously,
Can you imagine seeing somebody doing that to your arrangement? They're just like moving stuff around.
I'm sure
like...
it happens.
We have people that come in here and do that. They're deconstructing a bunch
Yeah,
of
but
roses.
like being the florist, seeing it in the wild happening.
Yeah,
like,
that's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a learning process. The rest, I mean, the other parts that were hard for me was obviously the business side of things, because I had never owned my own business before. Like I had been charged of budgets in my own job, like my old job, but it wasn't my money, and like I wasn't like going through each line item, making sure I made profit.
We were just talking about that this morning.
Yeah.
I feel your
Mike
pain.
feels you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was 100% the hardest part for me. And then also, I mean, I'm sure you talk to any florist, they'll tell you like customers, like having to deal with customers, and when is the customer right? When is the customer wrong? Like, how do I handle this? All of that was the kind of the hardest things for me in the beginning.
Abusive Google review.
I took my Google reviews off.
Oh, nice.
I had positive ones, but I didn't have like a lot, and I wasn't driving people to them. So I'm like, why do I even have this?
So did you?
You have a choice to take Google.
We're not
Yes.
taking. We're not taking.
You do have a
it down.
choice.
I'm going to take it down.
I didn't know you had a choice. I thought it was like
No,
No,
like you
no,
can't
there's
pick and choose
companies.
which ones
people's
you.
right to just fuck you over and say whatever they want whenever they want to.
If you allow
Ellie, we
people
had a
to
couple
review you.
people
That's
be
why
mad
they have
that we
the
have
takedown
our-
options, so that people don't get destroyed online. They could just turn it off.
Mike, it doesn't like it because we have a couple of people who have given us 1 or 2 stars because we're celebrating somebody's birthday. I mean, you're
no.
very
Dumb
familiar.
stuff. Like, they don't understand
they
how
don't
the process
understand-
of buying wholesale
right.
flowers.
They had
call
no
us
business
up.
being
What's-
here in the first
What's
place.
the price of 100 roses?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then-
they wouldn't give us a price over the phone. That's the one I get. the
So,
most.
or that we respect the trade here. So it's like, we're not going to sell to anybody.
Right.
So they get upset and they just bash us online.
Let me ask you, this is a great time. It's a little sidetrack, but I would love to hear it from a customer who comes here every day. Have you noticed years ago, before we changed our ways, years ago, just anybody can come in here and buy flowers. And now we are like, sorry, we don't sell to the public. We only sell to the trade.
Mm-hmm. Like, have I noticed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you noticed? And more importantly, do you appreciate it?
Yeah, I do appreciate it, because I'll never forget someone one time was like, I was selling, I think peonies were like $30 here, and I was selling it for like 90 or something.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, I can go to Jet Fresh. They literally said, I can go to Jet Fresh and get them for $30.
See?
And I
But
was like,
that's why we
Yeah.
changed. That's why
and
we
I
changed.
was like, okay.
Right.
go to
Then
Jet-
you go ahead and you open them, you clean them, and you process them properly, and then
Yeah.
see how
And
much.
leave
You
me
make 'em
alone,
look
right.
good.
Yeah,
You
so
make them
yeah.
look good in a vase.
Right,
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like. I put myself in her shoes. I was like, why would I come to a place and buy and spend my money in a place that isn't trying to protect me
No.
and trying to protect my business?
Mm-hmm.
And that, that's when I think it was like 3-4 years ago. I started saying, no.
A few
No.
people still slip through the cracks, but we
You
do
can-
our
listen,
best.
You
We can't-
can't
yeah.
frisk
Yeah.
people at
Right,
the door.
exactly,
You could-
exactly.
but you could we
Are
have
you a
people-
florist?
Right, it's
we do ask those questions.
That's
We
what
do
it
ask
feels
those
like
questions.
sometimes.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
see CJ in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a pit bull.
Yeah.
She's a
We
pit
ask
bull.
those
There's times I'm
questions.
like, CJ, be nice.
Yeah.
That's the perfect way to describe
But
it because
she's a
they're also
sweetheart.
really sweet and the
She's
sweet side,
really
but-
sweet,
but they got
but-
the intimidating growl.
Guys, I saw her one day. The guy went back there, like he went. She told him, "I'm sorry, we don't sell to the trade. Like we don't sell to the public. You can go here. Tropical Bloom." She gives him a paper, whatever. All of a sudden, the guy went through, and I guess Nat called her and was like, "Hey, this guy came through. This guy doesn't have an
He's
account."
wearing a fake mustache or something.
She was like, "I told you," but she was like trying to be so nice about it with her little like. And she
But the
gets
attitude.
I mean,
is
we don't
still-
have bouncers, you
out-
know, but
as soon as
You
she
might
got
need
out,
some on the
Yeah, right.
holidays. Some-
Well,
But-
we have security on the holidays.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
have
think
to.
I just never thought that was cool, and
No.
and I'm glad that she brought that up because
Yeah.
I always wanted to hear it from a customer. No one's ever come to me and said, "Hey, Mike, thanks for protecting us," or "Hey, Mike, this is really cool that you don't want to sell to people that are potentially your customers."
Yeah, and I think like obviously like it would bother me, but the way that I think about it is like if you really want to come out here and buy the peonies, do that. You know, I serve a different person, like a person who values how I arrange it and
Right.
how I do it. And if you want that, I'm here, and if you're not, Jet Fresh is a Durrell. So you're
We will scream it to the heavens.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
is nothing classier and sexier than flowers delivered by a professional delivery person from a professional florist.
Yeah.
Nothing better.
Do you have a name for your style of design?
not really.
No, you haven't
I don't
coined
know.
it like within the studio.
She has a really cool style.
She has a specific style, which is why I
Yeah.
asked that.
yeah, and she's not afraid to buy high end shit either. She,
No, I'm
It's
not.
like the wackier, the one more.
My-
Yeah.
my
I agree
credit
with that.
card
I think the
bill.
cooler things, well, I mean, it works. It pays off in the
Yeah,
end in
it
the
does, it
Instagram
does.
and stuff. You know, when people see the cool things that you are using.
Yeah. I don't have a specific name. I mean, I just usually describe it as like modern. For a while, I was calling it tropical-ish, but I don't know. It's not overtly tropical, so I don't know if I'm like comfortable. Especially lately, I've been like really into the garden roses and stuff. It's also constantly evolving, so I don't know. I don't want to pigeonhole myself.
That's what I was going to say also about your clientele. So your clientele kind of was more like the stores, and you're doing more like what would
is that
be
still
like?
the case? The stores?
Right now it's more
Yeah, so I do a few stores on Fridays. We refresh them every Fridays. I would say the bulk of what we do is like events with beauty brands and brands and makeup companies. I do deliveries. But what I love to do and what I like to focus on is like events with brands, branded events.
How long did it take you when you started your flower business to actually like be profitable and make money? How long did it take you?
Probably like 2.5, 3 years.
That's a deep commitment.
That is
Yeah.
a strong
Yeah.
commitment.
I
That's a
did.
deep
I was an
commitment.
overspender and an undercharger.
Yeah.
I didn't feel confident charging what I needed to be charging. But I hit a breaking point where I like didn't want to do it anymore. And I felt like I was just working really hard. Like it's labor intensive work. And I wasn't making any money. And I was like, I need to change that. I don't know. It was like a kind of like a switch. I was like, I need to be making money. I need to be making real money off this. Like I'm 34 years old at this point. Like I need to afford a life. Like I don't want to be like scraping by.
Right.
So yeah, I had to make a shift and become more confident in what I was charging. And also really get into like the numbers and spreadsheets so that I know how much I should be spending for each event and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that comes from experience.
Experience. you know.
Yeah, experience and also just like that.
You said the word. I think confidence was a key word
Right.
to
Yeah.
you know being able to believe
Yeah.
in yourself and your work to
Yeah.
be able to
'Cause,
charge what you charge.
At the end of the day, I'm just a girl. So asking someone to pay $200 for an arrangement.
Just standing in front of a guy.
Yeah, exactly. And here was the thing, and what I had to get over. I always thought I was my customer, like I was a good example of who my customer was. And I realized I'm actually not my customer because I have always felt like I could go to Jet Fresh or to 28th Street in New York, buy a bunch of flowers and put them together. I'm a crafty person. I've always felt like I don't need to pay someone to do this because I can do it myself. But there are people out there who are like, I'm not a flower arranger. I can't arrange flowers. Like I'm happy to pay a florist to do it. Just
or
like
done it once and
me
seen how
too.
much work goes
Yeah.
into it, and like
just like we were talking about the taxes. Like I know I can't do my taxes. That's why I hire an accountant to do my taxes. So once I realized like I'm not my customer, so I can't be judging my pricing off of like my own feelings. It is what it is, and this is what it costs. And if you want it, it's here. And if you don't, bye.
Do your customers give you a lot of artistic license to
Yeah.
pretty much do your thing?
I kind of insist on it in a little bit. And I think at this point, people know when they come to me kind of what to expect. I love to work with the client to come up with something. Like I'm always happy for the client to give me inspiration images, and then I'll come up with an idea and pitch it to them. And if they approve it, great. And if not, we keep working on it. But yeah, I'm lucky that I get to work with people who kind of like trust me to do my thing in a way. And if there's someone who ever wants something really specific, I will usually drive them to like another local florist who either works in that style or who.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah. I don't want to work with someone who.
But you drive them there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, she has cool cars.
Yeah.
Cars.
Have you seen?
literally drive them there.
Don't you have two really cool cars?
I know. I don't need two cars. You're exposing me right
No,
now.
I'm sorry. She's just
Yeah.
I love seeing Ellie when she pulls up with Dunya. Sometimes they're in separate cars, and I'm like, hey, wait a second. How many cars do you have?
Yeah.
But no, it's that she has a cute car that was her treat, right? But Mike would appreciate this story. That's why I'm saying.
What
Yeah.
kind of car? What kind of car?
It's a 2000 Mercedes SL 500. It's like a convertible. Yeah.
It's a convertible.
Yeah.
So she's so cute because she's coming down this horrible street with all the fucking potholes. Sorry. And she's like,
Have your boxes ever tipped over? 'Cause of
So
the
that's
potholes?
actually not my main car. That's my fun car.
That's your fun car, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
not
I've
the-
only ever come here
Good
like
for
in
you.
an emergency
I like that.
situation.
well earned.
Let me tell you, I'm looking right now for a 2010 Mercury Marquis.
I can
or
sell you a
Crown
2011
Victoria.
Fiat.
Why?
Why do you want one
Because
of
we
those?
need a second car for the lake house, and
That's what you want?
I got the.
yeah.
I got the
Get him
perfect
so
some-
random,
He's
though.
gonna. Hey, in
At
upstate
first,
New
I was
York,
looking for a
that's the
Mercury
car,
Marauder.
dog.
That's the car I always wanted to get and never did.
Yeah.
the Marauder.
Yeah, but there's not too many.
They didn't bring that back?
No.
Uh-huh.
No, I want a big boat.
Well, my drama now and my own personal drama now is that I need a van for work. Like
Yeah, you
it's
need
come
a-
to
Yeah.
the point where I need one.
That makes sense.
So I have to let go of one car.
Just put a hatch on the back of the Mercedes, just make a
Little
trailer.
U-Haul.
Little U-Haul trailer.
Should. And so I'm not gonna get rid. I have a Tesla. That's like my main car. I'm exposing myself.
No,
as
you're
bougie
not.
right now.
Listen, you're not
You're
bougie
good.
at all.
License plate number
yeah.
77299.
So yeah, I gotta get rid of the Tesla. But now I want a specific van because I love cars. I don't know. I like inherited it from my dad. I think. I
love
really want
cars,
an
too.
old Mercedes Sprinter to
Sure.
be my van.
Ooh.
Yeah.
My
So
neighbor
I'm-
has one. I want to see. I wonder if they'll sell it to you.
Oh, my neighbor has one too, and I don't. It's like a neighbor like 5 houses down. I've been considering just knocking and being like, "Will you sell this to me?"
Why do you want an old one?
I like the look of it.
Okay. That's fair.
I mean, everything is about the way
The vibe.
The vibe,
The
right?
vibe.
It's exactly
She lives
how.
on the vibe.
But you're going to add a refrigerator in there, right?
That might be phase 2.
Phase 2.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I should probably just buy a van that has a refrigerator already.
Well, there's Sprinter vans that
yeah,
come like that
exactly.
now, right?
No, but I want the vintage one.
Yeah, show it to
Mm-hmm.
me.
That makes sense.
That
I
the
like
AC
that.
doesn't work.
Right.
It's part of the brand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think you deserve it because you are celebrating something now, aren't you?
Yes. My book.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at a beautiful book by the author Elizabeth Jaime. And
Jaime.
Have you been referring to yourself as author
Potato,
recently?
potato.
Did you put that on the bio?
I did recently put it on my bio.
Good.
Put what?
Author. It's real.
Author.
It's
I mean,
real.
and we have to not just say author. We need to say like creative, like
Yeah.
director of this beautiful piece of art. So
I want to hear the whole process. Like, okay, I want to write a book, and then how did it go from there? Like,
And what gave you the
because
idea?
that looks like
Yeah.
a
to
real
write
book.
That's a
not.
book. No,
That's
it's
not
a book
no-
book. That's a book
This
book.
isn't self-published, guys.
No.
Not,
Yeah.
not that there's anything wrong with self-published.
no,
But she's
still.
got a deal with a legit publisher, right?
Yeah, so I think the reason I wanted to do a book was because I do like workshops sometimes and people love to do like learn about flowers, and I had been toying with doing maybe like a YouTube video series or something, but because my background is in print, like in magazines, I always have said like my favorite way to present information is through printed matter. So I had been working as a stylist on a book about rare plants. Her name's NSC Tropical. She's in Davie. She's like the best collector of the most rare. She's got like $20,000 plants in her nursery.
Wow.
And she was like, my agent is looking for other people to do plant books. And I was like, well, I don't know anything about plants, but I can do a flower book. And she put me in touch with her agent, and I pitched the idea of the book to the agent. And
What do you mean the agent? Like a sports
my
agent?
literary
Literary
agent. So,
agent.
yeah, so I have a literary
agent. Okay.
So
He wants to write a book, so he's literally taking mental
these
notes.
are
for
all
this.
notes he's taking
Yeah.
right now.
He wants to know the plan for real.
So I was like, I have this book. Here's kind of an idea. And she's like, I love it. She's like, here, sign on with me. I'm going to work with you to come up with the entire proposal that we're then going to take to, it's called to auction. So I worked with her for about.
What do you mean by that? When it goes to
So
auction,
that way
what is
people
that?
can bid on
So you have
publishing it.
publishing companies bidding
Yeah.
for the rights to publish the book.
So basically,
Oh, that's cool.
I
That's
came
cool
up
as
with
shit.
a proposal. It was like 16 pages long. It was the whole breakdown of what the book would be, and then it was her name's Michelle.
But how did you even know what the book's going to be? Like, you just had that vision because
Yep,
of
I had a
your
vision.
history and your talent and your
Yeah,
experience?
because I think like part of what we did at Bon Appetit was take like information and break it down. A lot of the times, like obviously we talk about restaurants and stuff, but we would do these things called primers, which was like taking a really hard concept like making soup dumplings and break it down for you.
Dumplings, so good.
Oh my gosh, I'm
So
hungry
It's got me
now.
hungry. Yeah, we
Yeah.
missed lunch. So.
So I always think of information like in a very it's called like an editorial lens, I guess. So I came up with also my experience of having to teach myself how to do flowers.
Sure.
Like I knew, and also in talking to other florists and people who are learning, I knew what information like was hard to find out there. So yeah, my agent took the proposal to a bunch of publishers. I met with a few of them, and the way the auction happens is like if you're a publisher who is interested in what you learned, you have to submit your offer by like I think it was like January 2nd at 2 p.m. And then so I had three publishers submit offers. I met with all three of them, and I ended up going with Chronicle, just because I loved my editor. I felt like she understood what I was trying to do.
So when they say offers, they mean like they pay you a certain amount of money, or they pay you per book? How do you get?
Okay, so once
how do
I
you
signed on,
monetize
that was
that?
part of also choosing the publisher, because one offered me more money, but they didn't have as much reach or something like that. Like you had to consider all these different things. So I loved my editor at Chronicle, but they weren't offering me the most money for the advance. So we went back and I was like, can you meet this other offer? And I would love to go with you. And they did. So yeah,
Nice.
the way that it works
Oh, cool.
is you get an advance to make the book. And you have to spend that. I was in charge of paying for the book to get done. The photo shoot and the writing.
Right.
So you have to invest out of your pocket
Well, with the advance.
with the advance
Yeah.
money. Okay.
So, and then how it works after that is I make a royalty off of every book sold.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you don't pay the advance, or it doesn't up until it covers your advance.
I use
no.
the whole thing. But also, no, you don't have to. I mean, I think in some, like when you're writing a novel, it depends on what section you're in. Like sometimes you do have to pay back the advance. But no.
Nice.
So the book is available
What a deal.
in print as well as digital version,
Yeah,
or
there's
only
a-
print?
There's a Kindle version.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of nice pictures in there. Just flipping the pages, I saw.
Specifically page number 22 and to page 199.
What
Where
are on
she's-
those
Can
pages?
can
Where
I
she's
see that?
shopping at
I want to
Jet
see
Fresh.
page 22.
Are your
Yeah.
hands clean?
Oh,
This is
Jet
the only
Fresh
one
is in
copy?
there?
Yeah, but no, there's only one
Oh,
copy. You can see her
shizzles.
from a distance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the book. Here, I'll show you the picture.
Who did you dedicate the book to?
My grandmother.
Oh.
Yeah, she passed away. But she passed away like.
No crying, Mimi.
Yeah.
Once per episode, she'll cry.
Yeah. Oh no, now I'm gonna cry.
Oh.
I know I'm not gonna cry. She passed
What
away
a
like
roller
a year
coaster.
ago, and every time she had cancer. So every time I would go see her, she would ask me how the book was going, and she never got to see it.
Oh.
I'm sorry to hear that. But
It's okay. But here's the
beautiful
picture
dedication.
of Jet Fresh.
Woohoo!
How long is the process when you started? What year did you start that?
So I started the proposal, which we just talked about, in end of 2021. I signed the contract with my publisher February 2022, and I finished shooting the book kind of like mid last year, summer of last year. And I finished writing it like also summer of last year.
I feel like there's so many great, talented florists out there with all kinds of crazy experiences and styles and whatever that also could write books. I think that the people would want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
I was browsing that bookstore in that nice airport we were at yesterday.
Sure.
They had a really. I don't read books, but I was browsing the bookstore because it just looks so nice.
But you don't love coffee table books?
I have a coffee table book.
Just one?
Just one, but you don't sit somewhere and pick up a book and look.
I got him the collection, the history of Playboy in a coffee table book. But
yeah, and you also got me the Led Zeppelin book.
Yeah,
I
love coffee table books. I love print. Yeah, I'm the same way.
We currently are without a coffee table.
Well, you're working your way. The lake house requires a specific kind of coffee table. You need like lakes and like birds
and car.
Yeah,
and cars.
Yeah. So I'm really excited
but
about it.
It's interesting.
Definitely.
I love your style.
Yeah, me too.
It's unique. It really is. Out of the box. I love it.
She
As a matter of fact,
know.
I'm gonna give you a call because my anniversary is coming up.
Okay.
Do you,
Fern? She probably doesn't know. Like when we see cool shit in the inventory, we yell at Jimmy and we'll say, "Hey, this is for Calma."
Yeah, he does. He writes me. He WhatsApp me at like 5
but the
in the
whole
morning.
room knows.
The whole room knows because we're yelling it out like, "This is for Calma. Call her."
Yeah.
Jimmy's a little upset because he wants to be on the podcast.
Yeah,
He's like,
but
"Can I be
Fern-
in? It's my
Fern-
customer. Can I come on?"
Fern
He
has
could
him
jump in.
banned.
Jimmy is banded because he is releasing trade secrets. He's got caught.
What's the secret?
No, he was. I've been harassing
we're
him
just
since the
talking.
last one he was on.
Could pop on. Why not?
Which was Sarah Campbell, and he released where she was gonna do an event.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, this is recorded and we edited it out,
Right.
but he released it, so I've been calling him the snitch since
Oh
then.
no one likes a snitch.
Nobody.
Ellie, this book is so beautiful. Not
It
just
really is.
not just
Who took the
about-
picture?
I'm looking at the pictures
Yeah.
from the other side.
So
here.
my
Upside down. I love
photographer,
it.
her name's Emma Fishman. She was my photo assistant when I worked at Bon Appetit. She was like,
Is she
Love
New York
that.
based?
she's New York based. Yeah, we shot half the book. We shot most of the book in New York.
That's why you were going to New York.
Yeah.
I saw pictures of you on in the flower market. In New
Yes, I was there shooting the book. We did do a shoot here in Miami, but she's in New York, and I don't know.
How did you like going to the flower market versus the Miami market?
I mean, the New York market's amazing.
No, of course, everything's
I love
right
it.
there.
I know.
It's totally a vibe.
I
yeah.
love it. I actually had a dream about this is weird. Like 2 nights ago, I woke up and I realized I had a dream about the New York like flower market. You know, G Page.
Sure.
Mhm.
I had a dream they closed. I don't know why.
Oh, shit.
No, but I don't know.
That might be foreshadowing.
Maybe you can edit that out.
If that
But-
happens, like, yeah, I don't know.
But that's weird because I don't really like if I do buy from New York, it's not from them. So I don't know why I dreamt
Who's your go-to?
NYFG. It's Flower Group, right? New York
Yeah.
Flower Group,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is the Dutch floral line, right?
That's
Yeah.
Dutch Floral
Dutch
Line. That's a
Floral.
Rose by Harvest, and that's G Page.
Yeah.
All 3 of them.
So
There
I
might
don't
even be a 4th.
So what I was going to say is that this book is very educational, not just to like people who are like, let's say, floral enthusiasts or people that don't know anything, but about flowers. But this is also very informational, and like a lot of people can actually learn about the different types of flowers, not just the arrangement, but the actual flowers. So kudos to that, because I definitely need one.
Yeah.
Education.
I
Like
love
what, Mimi? Give us
like
an example.
here she is. She's explaining about how to process poppies, and she's like,
Ooh.
and
Do
How
you
do you
burn the
process
ends?
poppies?
Yeah,
and
I do.
and she's saying here, and inside the book, she's talking about. I mean, she says poppies need more love. I mean, it's just cute ways that she's doing it. But also, she has like the actual flowers and their names. So this is a very educational book that's just not for the people who are into like, let's say, I want to make arrangements at home. This is for this is a great book for florists as well. Look at
So
that.
there's care and handling.
There's not just care and handling, but I'm just saying, like, she's giving a lot of educational tips, and she's talking about the pros and cons of the different vessels and arrangement styles that she does. So,
Oh.
I mean, this is really, really nice. Take it away from me because I have to find
Read
my
an
copy.
excerpt. What do they call it?
Excerpt.
Yeah.
Read one.
Oh, man.
Let's hear it.
What?
Read something good.
Really put
Okay,
her on the spot.
I'm just gonna read the first thing I opened to.
Okay.
So what we were just talking about, the flower glossary. One, I'm sure if you've ever shopped for flowers, like it can be overwhelming. Like you walk in and you see so many beautiful things and you just want everything, but you're not really thinking about how it might work in an arrangement. So the point of the flower glossary is to kind of look at a flower for what attribute it brings to an arrangement rather than like it's beautiful and I want it, which is a fun way to shop, but not always the smartest way to shop. So the flower glossary addresses that, and it says, I want you to change the way you look at plant material when shopping for flowers. If you're anything like me, you might walk into a flower shop and want to buy absolutely everything and anything that catches your eye. While that can be really fun, and I do encourage that from time to time, it can also be overwhelming, and you might end up buying more flowers than you actually need. I mean, and then I go on to explain, like...
It's like going to Walmart.
Yeah.
Buy shit you don't need.
Walmart, Target.
If you go every aisle, you're gonna get things you don't
there's
need. You have to go
something
specific aisles.
you thought you needed or something you said, hey, you know what, this looks good. Why not buy it? It's a deal.
Yeah.
And I guess if you walk into one of those nice wholesale houses where they have everything on shelves pointing right at your eye, you're just going to grab colors and stuff that you love and figure it out later.
Shop with your heart.
And then you say, 700 and how much?
Let me review that.
Yeah. Yeah. So the first half of the book is kind of like informational stuff like that, like how to shop for flowers, what kind of vase to use and when to use it, how to process your flowers. And then the second half of the book is 20 arrangements, each with the image of what the arrangement looks like. And then on the next page, you have like a recipe. So what kind of flowers you need, how many you need, what kind of tools you need. And then it goes into a step-by-step guide of how I made each arrangement. And it's written out. And then also there's pictures of each step so that you could...
Beautiful.
If you want, replicate the arrangement. Although my hope is that people look at this and realize that you don't need to replicate the arrangement exactly, because it's going to be hard for everyone to do exactly what I did, especially with everyone having different access.
Flowers,
yeah. So you're supposed to be inspired by it and do your own version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love what you that you burn the poppies.
Yeah.
I had never heard of that.
There's all kinds of tips like smashing stems on certain things.
Guys,
All kinds of stuff.
I'm gonna start releasing some because you know what my favorite processing tip is?
What?
A potato peeler.
Go on.
A potato or a potato?
Potato. If you take a hydrangea, you see everybody burning the edges or the stems or pounding them. What you do instead is you create more openings for water to come in if you peel the thing. And
Do you peel it up or do you peel it down?
Peel it down.
Peel
Peel
the bark
down.
towards
peel
the
the bark.
stems?
Scratch
The
the
bark.
bark
That
off.
works. That works with any like woody stemmed flower. So woody stems are, like roses. You got to think about like if it's a hard to hydrate, create more openings for the flower to uptake water, and the head will be stronger.
I'm so
gonna
scared
start-
of hydrangeas.
Oh no, but you shouldn't. I'm telling you.
I'm scared. I had one bad job.
For
and-
event design?
Yeah.
They're not meant to last.
I
like
heard
that.
on
Yeah.
hydrangeas
They implode.
that you need to use boiling hot water.
That's also
The rest of the
I've
flowers
seen that.
don't, though, so that's not really
Right.
I don't
That's
know.
the problem.
Man,
You
there's
always-
so many
You always
tricks.
treat for the weakest link, and the weakest link will be the hydrangea in that situation. So, but you can use flower food. This episode was sponsored by.
I like the tree hydrangeas because they
Yeah.
last longer
Oh,
and then they
those.
dry.
They just
dry.
naturally
Dry
dry.
perfect.
Yeah.
You should see the
So
ones
they
I
don't
grow
die.
in my house in New York.
Oh,
We
I'm
have
sure. I
beautiful
know.
ones.
I've spent a lot of time in upstate New York, and the hydrangeas up there are really beautiful.
Yeah.
Honestly, my dream is to one day have like a house up there, upstate New York, where I can have a garden because I love upstate New
Let
York.
me tell you,
It's beautiful.
that
up
was
there.
my dream,
And you made
it
it?
came true. Yeah,
Yeah.
So right after Mother's Day, he goes up to the lake.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah,
there
no,
till
I know.
Thanksgiving.
Instead of moving back to Miami, I almost moved just outside of Woodstock, and I was like, "What am I gonna do here?" But there was a really cute house, and I loved it, and I was like, "I can commute into New York every day."
That's an interesting thing about like your style versus your market. Like you wouldn't be able to do that style in Woodstock.
That's what
No.
everyone says. My style's really specific, and I actually don't like doing my style in a place like when someone wants me to do. I got a wedding inquiry for Montana,
Right.
and like obviously maybe they wanted something not tropical, but I was like, I can't do like tropical over there. That
Right.
feels out of place. I love
It's
when
gonna stand out.
yeah, I like when things feel like site specific.
I get that.
But when you did that wedding in California,
Yeah,
that was really nice.
Yeah.
And it was not your typical
yeah.
Calma style, you
Yeah,
know.
I
but
love
it did it.
that.
But you guys killed it.
Thanks. That's my favorite I mean, like I do tropical because I'm here, but I love like that California look. I loved that wedding because it was like what I love to do.
So what is your favorite like part of floral? So you do traditional retail, you do weddings, you do corporate events. Which one is your favorite one to do?
I love doing branded events, like with companies, events with companies. I like the shorter time frame. Like a wedding is a long time frame. You know, they get in touch with you a year before. So I like the shorter time frame. Usually they're open to like a little bit more creative stuff than a wedding. So I get to do like more colorful stuff, more fun stuff.
Can you throw out any brands you've worked with recently?
I just did like we handed out bouquets at the Tory Burch store in Aventura. Nice. I just did an event with Miu Miu, and I'm doing another one in a few weeks. Like I love like fashion and beauty, so I also like doing those things because they're the brands that I like.
So how do they obviously are reaching out to you because of the like everything you've created, your reputation around the town with that. But like how did you well, besides Glossier, how did you get into those corporate clients?
It's all been word of mouth.
Okay.
Like one client will refer me out to another client. I mean, I know there are people who find me on Instagram and they usually say that, and I know people sometimes can find me like on Google. But I would say most of it is word of mouth.
Well, because also you've been listed under the New York Times, New York Times, Washington Journal. Like a lot of people have listed you as top florist to look out for in Miami, or if you're going to get flowers. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm
really
sorry,
is.
Wall Street Journal. You can change that.
Doesn't
well,
matter.
it was
That's
T
cool.
magazine, like New York Times.
Yeah, and then Time Out. Yeah, a couple people. Guys, I did a whole deep dive. That's how you guys got your notes. I also really, really, really want to talk about TikTok with Ellie.
Oh man, that was next. Because are you worried? Are you concerned?
I'm more worried for the country if TikTok was to be banned, because there would be a revolt.
I believe it. Yeah.
Like
I
you're
love
gonna
the
take away
TikTok.
TikTok. Like there's other things to worry about.
So I am an absolute conspiracy theorist, and I've been reading the jargon that's going into that
Do you
bill.
know where Kate Middleton is?
I love, that's hilarious.
Hey, and what about the supposedly pregnant other girl, the side
know.
chick? She hasn't been seen either.
I believe
so
it.
Kate Middleton hasn't been seen, and neither has the side chick who is apparently pregnant.
History repeats himself, guys.
Just
History
saying.
repeats itself.
What did I miss about TikTok?
So okay,
I'm
so
sorry.
What is your FYP
Congress.
looking like right now?
yeah.
What?
Your For You page. Everything you send me is music related, Mike, on TikTok. So you're only listening to
I get a lot
music.
of that stuff pops up.
Yeah.
You're in a different algorithm than we're in. I guess.
You know, I get TikToks from Mike, and I love the TikToks that we share because it's either about pets or about music.
Or
So-
the motivational speakers.
Oh yeah, sales motivation.
Simon.
Yeah.
I like Simon. Simon's a good guy.
That guy's good, man.
I'm not.
good.
I'm not talking him. I'm for
That guy
it.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So
You know,
I don't know.
You know Simon?
No, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't like the people that are like 10 ways to change your life right now.
No,
Like, I hate
no.
that.
No, he doesn't do that. He's
What's
more
he selling?
about.
What's he selling?
No, he's more about.
He's a motivational speaker.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
a
but-
motivational.
Yeah, but he's more
But-
about like empathy and
Okay.
and
a better
workplace and-
better management style.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thinking outside the box.
He
man.
makes
I would have to see it.
he makes you in
It's
like
kind of like Tony Robbins, no?
No, not really.
No,
In like
he's not
in the
making
1
anybody
minute
walk on hot coals.
Is
in
he
the
selling a
1 minute
product?
TikTok, he's
Himself.
selling himself.
It's consulting.
But in a 1 minute TikTok, like I have learned things.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I have learned.
No,
things.
a lot of people.
makes
learn
you
things on
notice-
TikTok.
Well,
What
that's
he's
why,
really good about is making you understand how the other person feels.
Well, that's why I'm really concerned because honestly, I like TikTok. TikTok's fun,
You
but
know how many recipes I get off of TikTok? I didn't
But
build this body on my own.
I was
guys.
watching the news, and a lot of people are out there lobbying right now. Then they brought out a lot of like TikTok stars to the Capitol to talk about this that's happening. And I mean, the empath in me, I couldn't stop crying because you see all of these people who are putting out very positive content. And they're also making a living off of TikTok, and it's so. And there's people like
Their whole business.
Their
There's
whole
this
centered
dad. There's this dad
the
with
dad
a
who
little girl.
brushes her hair.
No, with a little girl, and they lip sync songs together.
Oh no, that
and it's really, really good.
and they
But-
do the dance in the bathroom together. I don't know.
No.
There's a ton of people
But
out
No,
there.
they
guys-
use it
putting
in
out
a
good
car or
content.
something.
Guys, we have two
But-
social media stars
so-
though right now here in this podcast room. aside from Mike and his Rumex.
His how many views did we get on that
It's like
video?
100 and something thousand.
Shit.
But Ellie
can I
is
say?
also has a lot on her TikTok because she talks about really cool things like why an arrangement costs a certain amount or
Well, I know she has a big following, so I
Yeah.
mean this has a potential effect on
I gotta
you
get her
and
on
how
my
you share.
TikTok.
I mean, obviously, everyone will switch to Reels,
He's
right?
following
And
you right
everyone will
now.
go to Instagram.
Well, I think that I don't think it'll get banned ultimately.
They're
Well,
gonna just change the name and make it something else. Or
So
whatever.
here,
It'll be all right.
here's where the conspiracy theorist in myself comes in. When you read the jargon, when you
Oh,
read
perfect.
the verbiage on that, you start to learn that they're gonna ban that, but it opens the door for the government to use Ring.
I can't listen to anything you're saying with the music.
I know this shit's real deal. We're in this shit.
Yeah.
Get the fucking tinfoil hats. Let's go. But it gives them information to use any recorded content that you put on Instagram Live,
I
Facebook
put
Live.
Elizabeth Jaime and this crazy lady came on.
That's not me.
Oh, go Calma.
That's Elizabeth Jaime.
Yeah.
Look,
That's
That is not
Jamie.
me.
That's Jamie, not Jaime.
I am with you on the conspiracy. I love a good conspiracy theory.
So they're saying that
I don't think we
they're
went to the
using
moon. I'm just
the
saying.
excuse. They're using
that
the
picture,
excuse
that
to
picture
ban
just
it.
does not make sense.
They're using the excuse to ban it so that they can go on, and the government themselves can use all the things that we upload to spy on us and listen to us and do all that. That's the verbiage that I'm getting out of it.
I just feel like I already think that we're being recorded and spied on and
Uh-huh.
everything we do. So like, you want
We are.
TikTok? You want my
There's
little
times-
pricing video about how to please
Yeah.
take
There's
it.
times
Come
where
on.
I know all I did was think about something, and then it's all over my feed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta
Swear,
work on
right in
my
my head.
TikTok. I gotta
Yeah.
I gotta fix mine up.
But also, your TikToks are good because what is your secret to getting like those big numbers that you're getting on TikTok?
I feel like I don't get big numbers.
I mean, I've seen some big numbers on your TikTok.
I think you have to take in context. The flower world is like for us, big numbers are
Yeah,
like-
200.
a
Yeah.
couple 100,000 for us. For flower people is big
Well,
numbers.
I've realized that the less attention I pay to a TikTok, the better it does.
Yeah.
Like the ones that have gone viral are just like so stupid that I'm just like,
The only one we've
the
had.
one that we made was
the
just
golf one.
and that had 350,000 viewers.
you know, they say that once you go viral for something, that's your niche.
Yeah.
So you guys are golfers now.
you were fucking golf. Yeah, that's it.
Shit.
All right, my first
We actually
one.
are. Casey and Fern and Pockets. They're actually all like
Jeff Fresh
serious
golf.
golfers.
My
so.
first viral video was about my nails. I was like, okay, I'm gonna
Now your nails and yeah, I could see that.
But yeah, I love TikTok. I think it's the best social media platform
It's the
ever.
greatest way to go to the bathroom. It gets you through it.
You'll
Not
be
just
there
through it.
longer than you need to be.
You'll until your
thoroughly
legs.
through it
Until
by
you
the
feel
time
the
you're
static
done.
in your legs because they're falling asleep.
Yes.
And then you're like,
When you
yeah,
stop
okay.
feeling your
happened to me. I
feet, you
tried
get
to
up.
stand up and my legs
You're
were
like,
rubber.
oh shit, I can't get up.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna get banned. And
No.
if for some reason it did, I think that people would just be so upset because, like I said earlier, there's just so many other things that they could be focusing on.
Yeah.
Like, why are you banning TikTok? right
Not
now?
only that, we were talking about it. TikTok has changed the rest of social media, like
Yes.
video style, the way people upload content.
Edit,
It's
everything.
for TikTok, but it's just going on other things.
And it's a big business for people. People make a living from there
Yes.
selling
Sure,
shit.
Yeah.
So if the government cuts them off, then they can't sell shit. Then there'll be more crime, more problems.
Yeah, and I know we were talking about how like, oh, they're scared it's going to influence the elections and stuff like that. But every social media,
everything else
what do
will
you
do
think
it.
Facebook is? It's like
Right.
a
Yeah.
graveyard for like.
Oh my god.
If they ban
worse.
TikTok, they're
I-
going to open another one called Truth Talk.
Sponsored by JetFresh.
Yeah, we might have to.
You guys should start
Should
your own
trademark
social
that.
media
We need to trademark
Yeah.
platform.
That's
We'd have
Fern Talk.
no followers.
Yeah, that's not true.
People would just
we'd have
peek in.
yeah, peek-ins. People just
Fern
spying.
Talk.
We're gonna make a social media where everyone has to be Mike's friend, like MySpace was, where MySpace had.
Oh, and he's the number
eight.
one.
Top
We're gonna
eight.
have
He's
number
Tom.
one.
Yeah.
He's Tom.
And the picture of him looking back.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
Don't
about.
worry. It's
It was before.
Your new name's Tom. That's
Yeah,
all you need
Thanks.
to know.
Accept
Tom
it.
Talk.
Tom Talk.
Yeah, but I love TikTok. Not only for my business, but I just love watching TikTok. I
Oh,
go
yeah.
to sleep, I'm watching TikTok.
Me too.
I wake up in the
like
middle
it.
of the night, I'm watching
When I'm in a
TikTok.
hotel room by myself, I'll look at the TikTok.
I thought that was going somewhere else.
I just love the the way
No,
he's like,
I'm
I
looking
don't-
at him like
That
Mike,
pause
your
was
kid is here.
suggestive.
Your
I'm
son is in
60.
here.
Give me a break.
I like the way he's like the TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
The
TikTok.
Facebook,
You know,
the TikTok.
It is
LinkedIn.
super late.
Is it a TikTok or the TikTok?
It's TikTok.
It's
It's just
TikTok.
It's just TikTok.
You never saw that movie?
What?
The Facebook movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Facebook. No, the.
It does take a lot of work though to do the TikToks. Like
She said the TikTok. See?
to make the TikTok.
The
with me.
I think you're just
No
influencer.
one
with
knows.
me.
That's it.
See,
No one
Mike
knows
is
what
an
to do.
influencer. Mike is an influencer.
The TikToks.
It really is, though.
Love it.
Follow me on the TikTok. Yeah, it takes me like so long to edit those TikToks. But I've gotten a lot quicker about it because I care less and just like put it together and
Yeah.
let it out into the universe because you can't really pay too much attention to something that's probably not going to do that well.
So, how does that work for you, being the designer, the boss, and the social media?
My camera roll is completely always saying full.
Mhm.
I take photos of everything. I take videos of everything. And then usually like on an event day, I'll go home and when I'm like laying in bed, I'll put it together.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, and I treat TikTok differently than I treat Instagram.
Yes.
So Instagram is all about vibes and aesthetic. The feed looks cute.
Portfolio.
You know, yeah, it's a portfolio. And I do like get personal, I guess, like in the stories, like I show you BTS and stuff. But on TikTok, I talk to the camera, you
Right.
see my face, you hear my voice. I don't really do that on Instagram. Because I think that there's just people go to TikTok for one thing that is different than what they go to Instagram for.
Mhm.
I have a question because recently you had Dunya do a takeover
Oh my God, yeah.
and
People loved it.
I loved it. I
Yeah.
love her. She's amazing.
She is.
How did you guys get together? Were you friends before?
No.
What do you mean a takeover? What?
She so it's usually me talking.
Explain me.
And me talking, but she like stole the camera from me and was
Okay.
like, I'm gonna take the reins today
Ah,
and
okay.
I'm gonna show you behind
Yeah.
the scenes from
But you
my
can
point
also
of view.
give people like businesses sometimes give other businesses access to take over or like, you know, other personalities like influencers to take over their account on the day or whatever.
Yeah.
Can I take over the Jeff Fresh account?
Sure,
Oh,
whenever you
yeah.
want.
All right.
Oh gosh, Ryan.
Let him have it. If we get canceled, it's his fault.
Yeah. People love that. People request her. Like I got the other day someone's like more Dunya and I was like, okay, no problem. She loves
Was that from Joelle?
No, from anyone in the but no, we weren't friends before. The way that
Why
I
are you
hired
putting
her,
Joel out there?
I
man?
know. Yeah.
Oh, she works for you.
yeah, she's like other half.
got it.
It's only two of us.
It's only the two employees.
Yeah, so she came. I was about to like quit and throw it all in. I was like, I need to hire someone to help me, and she happened to catch me at a moment where she sent me a DM and she was like, "Hey, you know, if you ever need help, let me know. I would love to help you." And I was like, "Great, come in for an interview."
Meant to be.
She comes to the interview, and my best friend Jonathan.
Was it coincidental you were looking for somebody at that time?
She just called me on a day where I was like, I need help, and then she DM'd me, and I was like, sure, come in.
Yeah, I like that.
She
Kismet.
came
no
in.
coincidences. It was meant to be.
Yeah, my best friend Jonathan was there, and he was overhearing me interview her. And if you know Dunya, she's like a baddie. Like she's, you know, she came in like with a look. She's got the nails. And the minute she left, my friend Jonathan, who we all laugh about this now, by the way, he was like, "You can't hire her. She doesn't work. She's a baddie. I can just tell." And I was like, "Excuse me?" I was like, first of all, Second of all, I'm gonna give her a shot.
But you both are baddies together. I really kudos. I think your dynamic together, it's you complement each other.
Yes,
You know,
we do.
because
Yeah.
you're very different, but at the same time very similar. So.
Yeah. Apparently, she's like into astrology. We have the same signs, all three of them, but they're jumbled.
Okay.
So that means something.
The big three.
Yeah, like our big threes are all different, but they're the same. Like
Well, now
Pisces,
we need to know.
Virgo.
Okay, Pisces.
Yeah, I'm a Pisces. She's a Gemini. And then there's like Virgo in there mixed in. I don't know.
Gemini's where it's at.
Yeah.
Stars of the show.
But yeah, having her like, you know, has been such a blessing because it just changed it for me. Like I have someone now that I can rely on and count on and we get along and we really like each other and even hang out outside of work because we just like each other.
Nice. Yeah. I think
love that.
I think it's fun to see them together because They're just
We are
compliment.
different. Yeah. Well, she's also like 7 years younger than me. Like, I don't know what if I was walking in here when I was 27, it might be a little different. But yeah, we're different.
You're both very good-looking women. There's no mistake about that. Don't worry. Yeah. The guys are looking. They're watching. I promise.
Well, I know the guys in the back love doing it. Every time we are here, they're like, ¿cómo está? Like,
Yeah. A little extra eager to help.
Dunya gets a little extra special treatment.
Yeah.
She does. Well, she flirts back with them. She's, she knows how to play the game. Me, I'm just like, put it in the trunk.
Does Pockets know her?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I'm sure he does.
And so does Joelle.
We call it the prom. What was it called?
Fresh Fest.
Oh,
it was Jeff Fresh prom. That's a perfect way to put it.
Holy shit, that is fucking great.
Yeah,
That's
we might need.
good.
Oh my god, is that a theme? Can I wear like the tuxedo?
Now we have to do it.
And
From-
everyone
so
gets a
it's Dumb and
corsage.
Dumber?
So it's going to be every 2 years because we're doing the Ecuador show in October.
I would plan my outfit for next year.
So you have to plan it a year out.
Literally was planning her
All right.
outfit for like a
I'm
month.
gonna
She's
say
like,
this.
I mean, we can
until
still
it
do it.
happens.
We can still do a gala
We
or
should
a
do
ball.
we should
prom.
do we should do the prom. Just the prom party.
I'm gonna say this till
I'm
it
down.
happens. Me and Ace in the Dumb and Dumber orange and baby blue tuxedo.
That's a custom made suit. You guys got to find
I don't give a
those.
fuck. I will.
You guys need to
I
get
don't care.
this
I don't
Aunt
care.
Lori's roommate is a custom tailor.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. We
You
got someone
see?
for you.
Yeah, I think maybe we do have to have the prom.
it was fun.
Yes,
we
we
were
need a
planning
prom.
on staying for like an hour. We stayed. The lights turned on.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we're like, oh god.
Shut it down.
Time to go.
All
All right, so hold on. We're getting off track. I had a moment and then I lost it. So you've talked about a lot of beautiful and a lot of good. Give us a little bit about a little bad of what's
About
going.
my life.
About
About the book. Or
No,
like
No.
the industry as a
the
florist.
industry or what
Oh.
you know.
Getting in the flowers, staying in the flowers.
He says in the intro, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Oh,
So we want some of the ugly.
There's no ugly. There's bad. Maybe.
No, there's ugly. I
There's always
guess.
ugly.
Oh God. I try to be a positive person.
Okay.
But no, I mean the ugly. I mean, I guess I'm not like a eco-conscious person, but it is wasteful. And like when I do a big event, I throw it all away. I do feel bad. I'm not one of these people that's gonna like crucify you for using foam. It's just not my way of doing things. But I guess that could be like a bad part of it. I guess I don't know. But it's
We need to start a compost bin here.
yeah.
That way everybody brings their their trash afterwards.
What we need to do, and I was looking at
Let me
this.
tell you about these waste management guys. Okay?
Yeah, but
The conspiracy theories.
let me
are
tell you,
coming.
when I grew up
It's
in
not
New
a
York,
conspiracy.
just real quick,
the
let me hold
mafia.
let me hold the
I
timer
don't give
up.
a shit for your timer. You open the door, I'm going to walk through it. Let me tell you something. When I grew up in New York City, on 28th Street, okay, for example.
Didn't you guys just throw the garbage on the street?
No. You don't change your garbage, man. You don't change your pickup days, anything. There's only, at that time, you couldn't change. There was only one garbage guy for your street, for your area, whatever. It was called their route, and they were exchanged between this certain ethnic group of guys that ran these different garbage companies. And then Rudy Giuliani got paid by Waste Management to get rid of all those guys with those garbage companies.
The Italian? Are we talking about the mafia?
That's
You-
where
you
it went
said
to.
it. You said it.
Well,
That's
So-
waste managers.
my
the mafia.
boyfriend is a New York Italian. He's Italian from Long Island. So
Okay.
Was
I
he
can-
in the waste management
No, but
business?
he tells me about his like dad's friends who were in the waste management.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
he
So
grew
he's
up
a
in like the
friend.
Five Towns, which is like the.
No, Five Towns is Cedarhurst,
now it's a-
Woodmere.
We were in Long Island too. So,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, now I went to go see where he's from.
Limbrook, next up.
2 more.
Now it's where he grew up. It's a large Hasidic community.
Yeah, that's Cedarhurst.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mother's from Cedarhurst too. So anyway, these guys got banned. They got, even some people went to jail. And then there was this company, Waste Management, which was a big corporation. And they run the garbage business throughout the country now.
Yeah.
And they're worse than the other guys because we want to get one more day pickup here because we have too much trash.
Yeah.
One more day pickup. They want to charge us as much as the first 2 pickups for that one more.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have to sign another contract to extend the contract just to get another extra pickup. And
But is there
if we
even
want to
another
change
option?
companies,
if you-
I need to buy out of my contract.
Yes, there
But
are
if you
other
want to be
there are other
eco-friendly,
companies.
like it's
No.
essentially you have to lose money to be eco-friendly.
You have to lose a great
right. You have
deal
to
of
pay
money.
money to be eco-friendly
Yes,
these days.
I would need a
Well-
new contract, a new container, a
That's-
new pickup day.
That's
a
what
new
they were
everything.
proposing at Woofsa show.
Yeah,
that's what
that's-
they were saying. Like
Yeah,
you
no,
have to
it's-
spend money
Yes,
to do it.
and
yeah.
that's the bad thing is that yes, like you were talking about. Now
I think the
using
flower
foam,
industry
definitely
is the last
chicken wire.
thing
A
online.
lot more time goes into making your arrangements. So if you're gonna take all that, it does cost more. But
But
there's-
flower waste is biodegradable, right? All the cut flowers, the stems,
it
the
depends.
heads. Well, I watch all these farms
yeah,
mash
but
it all
depends.
together and use
Mike,
it for compost.
You guys at growers have a very good. You guys do not use certain pesticides, but there are other people who do things that are not very eco-friendly. So if you're gonna put it on the compost, it's not going to be safe, and there's a lot more. And it
well,
all
I'm
comes
saying
back to
for
it.
here, in
No,
a commercial
here in a
business,
commercial business, yes, absolutely.
it's next to impossible for us to do the right thing.
No, I know.
The government doesn't protect us; they protect
Yeah.
these big corporations like Waste Management, who makes
No, absolutely.
payments to their campaigns and all that shit,
Exactly.
so they can exist here. In Miami, there's only 2 or 3 garbage companies. There isn't much choices, and if
Can I come back for the government conspiracy episode?
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
it's
We
true.
should do a special
All in on
conspiracy
it.
no,
theory
but there was the
episode.
mob controlling the garbage business when I was a kid.
Right.
And they did a better job.
They did a great job.
Yeah.
They did a great job. I
Well,
worked
it
on
was
a garbage
it
truck
was a
one
small
summer.
business.
I did it one summer, and I had a lot of fun riding the back of that garbage truck.
Yeah, so we're out of time.
So I can't separate the garbage. Is my point.
I
want
understand.
to.
I understand. I'm saying you have to.
I want to do
Right.
it.
But like, wouldn't a compost bin be something different?
I just spent $dollars with these. What is the name of these plastic people? So we have biodegradable sleeves here. What's it?
Sorry. They're not biodegradable, but they're
Whatever they
What?
are, it's better for the
Yes.
environment.
Mike gives me one project. I'm like, let's make everything eco-friendly in the cash and carry. So
yeah, $6,000 worth.
The sleeves are coming.
And the guy called me yesterday. I didn't get my check.
They're marble. They're marble, like stone based.
Ah,
so
okay,
it's a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
better than
That's
let's
compact.
say
Than
let's say plastic. Also less than bamboo, because bamboo also, if you use, that's the thing, is if you go down,
Why can't we get
$.
hemp sleeves?
it's not. It also, by the
Hemp
way,
is
for
cheap.
hemp,
it grows fast.
there's a lot of water that goes into hemp growing. So it's you actually
You should record
attributing
that
to,
too as one of the buttons. I like
Okay,
that.
okay.
Make one of those buttons that.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard a button?
Press it.
Press a Yeah.
It's like the Homer Simpson button.
All right.
Was there anything we didn't get to cover that we missed on?
A lot.
I guess just that my book is available for pre-order
Mhm.
now,
Yes.
wherever books are sold.
Okay.
So literally, wherever books
So,
are
like,
sold.
Amazon?
Tell them
Yep.
again what the name of it is.
The book is called Flowering, and it's by me, Elizabeth Jaime. And yeah, you can buy it on Amazon. If you want to support your local bookstore, we love that. You can just call them and ask them to pre-order it for you.
So a bookstore can order just a couple?
Yeah.
They don't need to buy it by the case or anything?
No.
Oh, that's cool. I always thought bookstore needed to buy like wholesale.
I mean, they can, but they have the ability to be like, hey, you can go to them. Hey, I want this book. Can you order it for me? I want to order it through you.
That's
And
really
then-
cool.
Oh yeah.
And for our local
support
people,
your local bookstore.
Do you have a bookstore that you're partnering with?
Yes, Dahlia Zine, which is in the
Oh,
Design
yeah.
District. I'm gonna
Lily-
have my book party there.
That's where we ordered it from.
Okay, good. And they have it for sale right now, like for pre-order on their website, and they also ship internationally. So if you're an international listener, you can order through them and they'll ship it to you.
When do the books ship?
Everyone keeps asking me this.
When do you
I
think
just know
the
that
books-
you're gonna have it by April 30th. That's
Okay,
it.
so around because we bought one
right
extra
before Mother's
Uh-huh.
Day?
for a giveaway for
Okay.
this episode.
So we're giving one away.
We're giving one
Are
away.
you gonna sign
yes.
it for us so we
She's
can
Sure.
give it away?
I'll write a note,
exactly.
a love
All right.
letter.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Exactly.
Exactly. So fatties.
So is there like a website or something that
Amazon.
they can go to?
Amazon.
They can go
Yeah, I mean, you can buy it on Amazon. I'm not supposed to give preference to any specific retailer,
Just
so that's why I'm
Google.
like being
I
like,
can.
Well, the one in
That's
Miami.
Melvin's friend, Dalzine.
Yeah, Dalzine.
Dalzine is awesome. Yeah.
spelled Dale Zine, Zine.
And it's a bookstore.
Yes.
It's a bookstore in the design
And
district.
you can just go to dalezine.com and order it from there, and they'll ship it to you.
Is it DALI or DALE?
Like Dale.
Dale.
I also bought from them weeds or flowers too, or something like that.
Oh yeah, I have that book.
Yeah, it was a cool looking book.
It's a fun bookstore. They have lots of cool,
They have-
interesting, weird, fun to look at things.
They have a lot of events too that support the community, like the zine fairs that they used to do
Yep.
and all that. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
a really cool couple.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Our
Okay.
book's making a big comeback. Our book's making a comeback.
Yes.
Sort of.
People
You know,
went digital for a while,
Mike,
but I see people on the planes now
next-
holding books and stuff.
Next Thursday is my book club meeting. We're reading the Seven
you told me
Husbands.
all you guys
of,
do is
Oh,
drink
I
wine.
just read that.
the Seven Husbands of Elizabeth of Evelyn Hugo. So come
Have
on
you
over.
finished the book? Have you finished any of the books your book
Of
club
course,
has read?
it's just that we like to drink too. Yes, we've several of them. I mean,
And Cliff Notes don't count.
no, Fernando. I take back. I'll give the outro.
What did you read before?
Before they have right now, because I'm in 2 book clubs. The seven Husbands of Elizabeth Hugo is right now.
Is
The
that one of those vampire porns that mommy?
No,
The smut books.
That's what my
No.
mom's got a whole collection of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a smut fan. It's called Smut.
I'm gonna let her know that.
Oh yeah, she knows.
She knows
She
what
knows.
smut
She'll
is.
be listening to
Little
this on
smart.
Friday.
Yeah. She's waiting for you to dress up like one of the people from the book,
Yeah.
Can you,
You
put
gotta
on
show
like
up
a
with, like,
long
a pirate
blonde
gear,
wig,
yeah.
a long blonde
like
wig?
Fabio.
Thor.
The next one is Demon Copperhead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that
Yeah,
one.
That's a
that one's a
vampire
good
one.
one. And then Unsheltered. I haven't read that one either, but they're good. Okay, so Ryan, you have some questions for
So we
us?
always end it with questions. Like we ask you these quick questions. Just answer it, whatever comes to mind, whatever your
Okay.
impulse questions
All
are.
right.
All right. In your opinion, especially since working for Bon Appetit, what is the best sandwich?
Ever.
In your opinion.
I was thinking about this the other day. I was looking at a ranking of the best sandwiches ever. Okay, I love.
What did they rank? Whatever.
Banh mi was number 1. A
Interesting.
banh mi, yeah.
I saw that on.
A
It was
what?
on
A
Instagram. I saw it on.
banh mi, a
I don't know.
Vietnamese sandwich.
Oh.
Okay, does a cheeseburger count?
Debatable.
Oh.
a hot dog.
It
A hot dog
does.
certainly doesn't count if you look at that.
That's my favorite
big
answer.
tombstone back there.
Yeah,
Cheeseburger.
I love cheeseburgers like so much. I love cheeseburgers.
Have you? What was the place? Skinny
too.
Louie's.
Yeah, Skinny
I
Louie's,
haven't
have
been
you?
there. No.
No?
I love a Hillstone burger.
Oh, but the Hillstone.
Shake Shack if we're gonna go like fast
Yeah.
food,
Yeah.
delicious. But if cheeseburger doesn't count, I love BLTs.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good choice.
That's our second.
So you know what I do? I order the BurgerFi cheeseburger with a lettuce bun, but I have a new thing now.
The CEO, you gotta.
I
the
get it a
CEO.
big bowl, and I have like this chopper, and I just chop it up into pieces.
Burger salad.
A burger salad, yeah,
good.
And I put a little ketchup and mayo on top.
Oh,
Do you know
wow.
that-
That's
And I
crazy.
always ask for 1 onion ring. Sometimes they give it to me, sometimes they don't.
What do you
And
mean
I
you
just
ask for one onion ring?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like
I
you
put
order
in the
when you-
notes.
for fun.
Add 1 onion ring. On the Uber Eats, I add add 1 onion ring, please. And sometimes they give it to me, sometimes they don't.
That's hilarious.
yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
I never know. Okay, what at the moment is your favorite flower?
I love those David Austin garden roses right now.
Sure.
I don't know why. I
I
just
thought
like
for
them.
sure you're going to say anthurium.
That's the typical, or that's like the answer I'm sure that you guys would expect.
That's the expected answer.
I love
Right.
anthuriums. I use them like literally in everything. But I'm in my like romantic floral era, and to me, like a garden
Ooh,
rose
the
is
fragrance.
So, yeah, it's like really beautiful.
Yeah.
And jasmine vine, I love jasmine vine.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, continuing on that, what is the most overrated flower?
A standard rose.
Okay. What about the most underrated flower?
I don't know. Underrated. What would make something underrated? Like people not using it a lot?
Yeah.
A carnation.
Yeah, it's number one answer.
Number one answer.
Yeah.
Love
They
it.
get a lot of hate. And why? It's just the
It's because-
idea we have about them.
And also, they're attributed to
In the 80s and 90s,
80s
the
to
number one seller was carnations.
Right.
Carnations outsold everything.
And lilies. I love like a lily.
Mm-hmm.
Like Orientals or Asiatics
Yeah,
or both or
yeah.
cala lilies. I mean,
No, not callas. Callas are having a moment right now. Like they're getting their love.
Ooh, Mike likes to hear that.
225.
I
Can't sell 4 boxes.
I actually have waiting for me at home some like New York grown calla lilies. I can't wait to see them. But yeah, lilies. I love lilies. I just think that people don't like them because they're a funeral flower. They have a smell. And some people
No,
are
have
like-
you seen the rose lilies and
The
the
rose
double,
lilies.
triple
I love the rose
lilies that they
lilies.
have now? They're crazy nice.
you guys had some, I don't know what they were called, but they were like orange and they were like smaller lilies and there was multiple blooms per stems.
Oh,
They were orange with spots in them. I love
Tiger
those.
lilies.
No.
No?
They were like, they seemed like really special. They were expensive, so I'm assuming they were like,
Oh, those Dutch ones. I know what those were. I don't know the name, but they were cool AF.
yeah.
Okay, if you were allowed to have one superpower, what would it be?
To be able to, what is it called? Like when you can be in another, like
Teleport.
teleport.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a good one.
Jumper.
What is your go-to way to relax?
A bubble bath.
Bubble bath.
Not even bubbles, just bath.
He bought Jessie bubbles for because she said she loves bubble bath. One of our sales reps. It was like the blowing bubble kind.
Oh, yeah. I love to
It was
take a
10
bath.
times concentrate.
Logan-
Can you imagine if she would have taken a bath with that?
Oh my
so happy.
god.
He's got the
Logan
bubbles. Is that
has
where they
got the
went?
bubbles. They
That's
went to
perfect.
Logan.
That's where it
He's
should have
so
been.
happy.
I love it.
I used to take bubble baths. Mr. Bubble.
When was the last time you had a bubble bath?
Are you trying to relax more in your life?
You should try. You should try some
Yes.
bubble baths.
Set some candles.
Bath salts, Epsom salts. What do you use?
Next podcast, everyone's in a bath, like bubble bath.
I like it. on location. We'll do it
spa.
in the standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, standard.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Okay, if you pick a movie or TV character to have lunch with,
Okay, I'm not a movie person. Like I just don't watch a lot of movies.
Hold on.
he hasn't watched any movies, so he's
Yeah.
he's very.
However,
He only watches YouTube.
yeah, YouTube and TikTok. Okay. However, I'm tired of hearing about it and not being part of the conversation. So I watched Dune 1 the other day,
Oh.
and I loved it. So I guess I would say Timothy Chalamet, Timothy, or Oscar Isaac.
Oh,
We talk about Miami because he's from Miami.
Yeah, he's from Miami.
Yeah,
Nice.
That's a good gun.
He's in
He's not old
Ex Machina,
enough for
right?
you.
Is that him?
I don't know.
He,
Machina.
yes, Ex Machina.
I like
Yeah,
that one.
he's a good actor.
Yeah. Have you ever asked someone for their autograph?
No, I wouldn't. That's not my thing. I would be too embarrassed.
What is the scariest animal?
Scariest animal, a cockroach.
Especially those flying ones.
Oh my god.
You go to
But wait,
kill
New
it
York,
and
a
it
New
takes
York
flight.
one.
Okay, one time a New York one flew into my bed. I was like laying in bed and it flew into me and I was alone, recently divorced with no man. I took a cast iron pan and I just like
Overkill.
Yeah.
That's like such a
She had to go
visual.
by
It's
Yeah.
like a recently divorced.
No, it was. I called
Or
my
a
mom.
spider.
My mom.
That was the end of the Hallmark
Yeah.
movie.
She had to buy a whole
That's
new
the day
bed
that she
sheet.
was like, click,
Yeah.
trip to Miami.
That was it. Right after you killed it, that was the
Yep.
moment.
I don't think I ever lived in an apartment in New York that didn't have roaches.
Oh, it's just part of it.
It's just part of the
Even
deal.
Florida,
part of New
I don't-
York.
Probably in
Yeah.
your house in
No,
Florida.
Yeah.
I seen one like a big water bug in the garage once, but I don't see them in my house.
They're there.
No, no, I would see them.
What kind of flowers do you want at your funeral?
Garden roses.
Just like decked out.
Yeah, I actually posted about this yesterday.
Well, yeah, a lot of people, especially in the flower industry, we talk about it on the show, obviously, but like,
We had
a
that's a
long
huge. Nobody
conversation
thinks about that.
about
I
Nobody
wanted
talks about
to-
that.
I want it to be like candles and garden roses and like
Mhm.
like Elvira vibes.
I like that.
Yeah.
What is your go-to drunk food?
Cheeseburger and a Coca-Cola, or if I'm hungover, like
But,
beeline
like any
to
kind of Coca-Cola or
no can Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The can.
So I like me. It's
A cold
like I
can,
want
yeah.
a McDonald's Coke.
Too
McDonald's.
spicy for a
McDonald's.
hangover. Too spicy.
Interesting.
If I'm hungover, it's Publix chicken tenders with a Coke and watermelon because hydration from the
I
watermelon.
like that.
Yeah.
That's like a perfect.
Casey
picnic
had
meal
some
right there.
Publix chicken nuggets, the little
Yeah.
what do you call it?
Popcorns.
Popcorn
popcorn
chicken.
ones at his house the other day, and I had one,
Just one.
No, it's
and then
impossible.
I went back for
I was
Yeah,
like,
three,
it's
that's
impossible.
Yeah.
They're
and
so
then I went
good.
back for three.
They're
They're
they are
really
the
good.
chicken, the what's it called? The
There's
Pringles.
no chicken
They're
in there. It's all fried bread. It's good.
so good.
It's
So
good.
delicious.
Yum.
I liked it.
Last question: Can
Carb
you
City.
suggest a future guest for the show?
Dunya. No, I don't know.
We'll take Dunya. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I don't know if
know.
Joel can control himself.
You can send in me an email if you have
Okay.
somebody that you can think of.
I didn't go that far.
This notion is ridiculous.
I have an idea for episode. I want to have an episode where it's like all internal people and you like go to different people, and because there's like it's like a family here. Like I've worked in a place like this where everyone is just like always laughing and having fun or whatever. I want to hear like from the people that you probably wouldn't interview like in the back, like bring them in the
That's a good
hot
one.
seat for a second.
So we did an episode with Jason, the warehouse, and Dan. We had to
Okay.
cut it because there was too much things we needed to cut from it,
Oh
and
no!
it just didn't have
Well, you
enough.
gotta give everyone the disclaimer.
Yeah.
But
like, you know,
again, that was done
Right
at
after
the
Valentine's Day or
tail
something.
end. No, we were at the end of the holiday. It was like the last Friday, the weekend before. You know, everyone was exhausted.
you guys should have a
needed
reality show.
So they approached us about one. We interviewed, and everybody froze up during the interview.
Oh,
Nobody
no.
showed their real character, and then it just
Yeah.
never really progressed from that.
Oh no, that happened
Bring
at
them
my
back.
old job.
We're gonna
Let me
make our
talk to
own.
them.
Yeah, we're
Let me
working.
talk
We're
to
working
them.
on a few things.
Okay. Well, I'll
Give
tune
me
in.
the
We're
mic.
gonna make our own, then we're gonna call your agent to sell it to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
at
what we're gonna do.
auction.
Yeah, I like that idea.
You got me wanting to make a flower magazine. Actually, now I'm
Yeah.
thinking about a flower
Yeah,
magazine.
I've actually always thought about that because there is a few. There's one called like Bloomin' House. But you know sometimes
Is that in Holland?
no, it's
That's
an
here?
American. It's like two florists, I think, or two flower. I don't know if they're florists, but they like flowers. Yeah, I would love to do a magazine.
We'll talk.
And what about if someone wants to reach out to you? What's the best way for them to contact you?
Elizabeth at calma-miami.com or DM me on Instagram. Just don't text me or call me.
Well,
I hate
Jimmy
when people-
Jimmy gave me your WhatsApp. I'm like,
Oh, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but like when someone
I felt bad now. I'm like, oh.
No. And also WhatsApp is fine. Like no, you're okay.
Okay.
That's funny.
It's acceptable, Mimi.
Thank you.
I just don't like when people like call me at like 11
Oh, yeah.
and I'm like, oh, you're what? No,
Yeah.
I'm watching TikTok.
You're interrupting the
Yeah,
TikTok.
like
Yeah.
call me tomorrow when I'm not on TikTok.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's how they can get in touch with me.
All right, we're good to
that's
go.
really good stuff. Really, thank you very much. I
Thanks
learned
for
a lot.
having me.
I love that book. I love that you did that. Not many florists.
Would you do a second?
Yeah, I would. I don't know what it would be about because I actually have like an option in my contract or something to do a second one with them if I want or if they want, I guess. But I would want it to be different, so I'm not sure.
Write a story about a wholesaler from New York who comes to Miami and turns
I
it
actually
all
would
upside
love
down.
to write. I've been reading a lot lately, like just novels and stuff. I would love to write just like a book,
A
not a
Hallmark
nonfiction
movie about a florist.
Oh, I
Yeah,
think you would really
it's
like
divorce
A
and-
Signature of All Things.
Really?
It's a flower book, but it's like it's a book.
Okay.
It's really long, but
a
it's good.
signature of all things.
Like
Okay.
like a single florist who comes up
No.
to Valentine's Day and all of a sudden all this chaos and this gorgeous man walks in and helps her and gets her through the holiday and they live happily ever after.
That's Hallmark again.
That's
You're
her
back to
Hallmark
Hallmark. You're back to Hallmark.
a
It's
Hallmark
very
book?
romantic.
Very romantic.
Hey, she likes the romantic flowers. I like to be romantic. It's
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another amazing episode of Two Fat Guys Talking Flowers, where we're always going to give you the good, the bad, the ugly about flowers. Mimi, Joelle, Ryan, myself, the Fern, Mike, our amazing think out of the box guests, Elizabeth, Jamie.
Jaime.
I almost said Jaime and I stopped myself with Calma. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for listening.